If you're over here doing all these things for him and you're getting nothing in return and he's broke, don't call him zaddy. Don't you dare open up your mouth and call him zaddy. He ain't no zaddy. That's son. That's son. I'm mama, okay? Because I'm over here feeding you, clothing you, taking care of you. No, baby, we're not doing that in 2021. And that's the reason why you can't respect him, because he's broke, baby. Hello everybody and welcome back to Siobhan Street TV, and I'm back again with another video. If this is your first time ever clicking on my video, ever seeing my face some way, somehow, whether it was the algorithm, I don't know, honey, but you found your way on this channel, I want to say, hey, hello, how are you? My name is Siobhan Street, and I am a preacher, a worship leader, and a prophetess, and I absolutely love Jesus with my whole heart. But on top of that, you've landed in the best place of YouTube, okay? This is my cozy little corner of the internet where we get to discuss all things faith and fashion, Bible and beauty, being snatched and saved. If that sounds like something that's your cup of tea, if that's up your alley, if that's your zhuzh, if that's your jam, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe, because I checked and 63.3 of you are over here watching my videos consistently, okay? Religiously, habitually, and you refuse to subscribe. Baby, subscribe. It's free 99 and it means the world to me. And for those of you guys who are already subscribed, come on, bring it in. Baby, you know what time it is. Come on, come on. Don't be acting shy. Now, come on, bring it in. Socially distancing, emotionally available. So, today's topic, we're going to be discussing, is this covenant or is it a counterfeit? Now, for those of you guys who don't know what a counterfeit is, it is something that looks like it is valuable, and everything on paper seems like it would be worthy, it would be tested, it would be pure, it would be perfect, it would fit, it would be in alignment. Everything on paper seems like it would be right, but there's something that's off. There's something in your spirit, you just don't have peace about it, okay? We're weeding out the dusties. We're weeding out everything that's not of God, okay? We're not receiving that in the name of Jesus. Point one. Does he prioritize your purity or does he compromise your purity? Oh yeah, baby, I'm coming in hot, okay? Now, there are some people who have the ideology that, you know, you should not kiss before marriage. You should not hold hands before marriage. You should not do any of those things before. I don't subscribe to that. I need to see if there's chemistry or not. But in those moments when things are hot and heavy, in those moments when, you know, you're in the moment and you're enjoying each other and there is that passion, that intensity, that moment where, you know, you're aroused by this person, you are attracted to this, you want them, you have chemistry with them, you feel a connection with them. In those moments, does he protect your purity? Does he prioritize your purity or does he compromise your purity? In those moments, is he the one that says, you know what? Things are moving a little bit too quickly. We need to dial it back, or hold up. This relationship is important to me and I don't want to ruin this. I don't want to rush through this. Good things take time and I don't mind waiting for you. Does he prioritize your purity or does he compromise your purity? Is he the first one that's saying, let's get at it? Come on. Do I have to really wait that long? We're already there. You might as well go all the way. Is he that kind of guy? Or is he the one that says, you know what? I really like you and I feel like at this point we should fast. You know what I'm saying? We need to have clarity about this. Is he that kind of guy or is he the kind of man that will compromise? Because let me tell you something about a toxic relationship. He may not beat you. He may not even disrespect you. But if you find yourself compromising so many bits and pieces of who you are until you look up one day and you don't even know who you are, baby, that's a red flag. Okay? Flag on the plate. Come on, back it up. Let's get out of here. Okay? Because we're not doing that. You need to be comfortable and confident with who you are, with where you're at, and with your standard. Your standard is not too high. It's not too much to be asking for a man to want to be celibate with you. It's not too much to ask for a man to wait on you. It's not too much. It's not. Second point, does he pray for you or does he pray on you? I know whenever I was growing up and when I first started to develop, I went to sleep as a B cup and I woke up as a double D, all right? That's just my truth. That's what happened to me, all right? I developed very quickly. I remember at that fragile age when you're just looking for identity, you're just looking for, you know, self-esteem, you're just wanting to be desired, you're wanting to be wanted, you're wanting that admiration, you're wanting somebody to validate you, to affirm you, to let you know that you are hot, you are pretty, you are cute, you are sexy, all these other things. things. I remember when I was at that age and I started to develop, and I saw men who were, I'm 15, keep in mind, 15, 16, something like that. And I'm seeing men who are 25. I'm seeing men who are 30. I'm seeing men who are in their 40s at this point, okay? I'm 15. A man who's 40 or so is looking at me and is trying to approach me and wants to talk to me. And I realized at that moment, you know, back then, in my mind, I thought that was a flex. I was like, you know, they want a young hot thing, okay? They want somebody like me. Wow, this man has a car, he has a house, he has a job, he wants to spend money on me. That was my story. I don't know, maybe y'all too saved. I feel like y'all too saved to be watching me, baby, because I keep it real. Listen, I had these men that preyed on me, that saw my weaknesses, that saw my inadequacies, that saw my deficiencies, that saw my insecurities, that waited for my moments whenever I was fragile and I was weak. And at that moment, just like a serpent, slithered their way into my lives and they became predators. You need to start evaluating, how do you feel when you leave their presence? Do you feel weaker? Do you feel drained? Do you feel uninspired? Do you feel unworthy? Do you feel unsexy? Do you not feel like you have what it takes? Do you feel less anointed? Do you feel less called? Do you feel less excited about your purpose when you're in you need to manage your emotions enough to analyze what's happening here. Does he pray for you or does he pray on you? I don't want to hear no God is great, God is good, Lord, we thank you for the food. I don't want to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, okay? Listen, let me tell you right now. I don't care how you pray over your chicken tenders. I need you to be able to lift your hands, open up your mouth, and I want to see if you can really pray for me for real. I want to see if you can really get in them trenches with me for real. I really want to see if you want to fast with me for real. I really want to see if you hear from God for real. I'm not trying to be with nobody who's mediocre. I'm not trying to be with nobody who's average. I'm not trying to be with somebody who's lukewarm. I'm not trying to be with something that's half-baked, that's not done yet. I'm not trying to be with somebody like that because I know who I'm called to be. I know the kind of calling that God put on my life, and I can't be with nobody who ain't on that level. So does he pray for you or does he pray on you? Point 3, is he covering you or are you undercover? Is he covering you or are you undercover? Now listen, I'm the biggest advocate for discretion. I love the art of privacy. I think that there is a distinction, however, between privacy and secrecy. Are you his dirty little secret? Are you just one filthy little sock in his dirty laundry? Who are you to him? Why does everything have to be a secret? Why do all the lights have to be? I want the lights on. Come on, I want to turn on the lights. Never mind, I'm gonna leave it alone. Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights to your relationship. Allow other people to have access to see what's really going on. You should not be anybody's secret. Okay, that goes for people who want to dibble and dabble and date some married folks. I feel that for this video. Some of y'all are dating some married people. And you clicked on this video thinking that I would go and affirm some things. No, baby, I'm not confirming any of that. You're out of order and you need to change your ways. Listen, baby. He is not covenant. He's already in a covenant with somebody else. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Now, what is a covering? A covering is something that in your weakness, in your frailty, in your humanity, that they can cover you. That they're the ones that is praying over you. They're the ones that is making sure like everything is running smoothly in your life. Are they the kind of man that when you talk about your purpose and they talk about their purpose, that everything clicks, everything is in alignment? You could see how you could help him and he sees how he could help you. That's the point of a help meet, that they meet you wherever you need help. If you have a man and you ain't got nothing to help, how can it be a covering? Do you have leadership potential? Could I see myself submitting to you? Could I see myself respecting you? Could I see myself biting my tongue because at the end of the day, I respect you too much to tear you down? You want to be in these relationships with men who aren't worthy of your respect. You need a man that is worthy of following. If you feel like he's not worthy of following, you need to get out of there because that's a counterfeit. Because if he was really who God has for you, you wouldn't mind following him. You wouldn't mind submitting to him. You wouldn't mind, using a softer tone. You wouldn't mind changing some of your behaviors. You wouldn't mind allowing him to correct you. You wouldn't mind these things. So the question is he a covering or are you undercover? Okay, next point. Is he budgeting or is he just stingy? Like, granted, you shouldn't only be there for the money, okay? And he may be broke right now, but he has a vision, he has a mission, he has a purpose, he has a plan. It's a difference between somebody who's budgeting and somebody who's stingy and then somebody who's broke. He may not have all those things right now. He may not have, a 2-story home. He may not have a 3-car garage. He may not have all the things that you're asking the Lord for, and you think that you're going to have this package. It's not like it's not going to happen. But my thing is this: is he stingy? As in, he's got the money, but he won't provide for you. We're not doing that. Listen, help me come up with a strategy. Help me to figure out my finances. Help me. I need you to be a leader in this, okay? Is he stingy? Is he broke? Now, this is different. There's a difference between budgeting and acting like you broke, and then in the actuality, you really are broke, okay? Is he over here taking your card, swiping away? Is he over here, using up your Wi-Fi? Come on. Is he over here taking advantage of you? Are you over here constantly buying him gifts, constantly buying him clothes, constantly trying to pull him up and make him into, baby, when you act like that, it's maternal. You're his mother. You're not his wife. You're not his girlfriend. Baby, you're acting like his mom. If you're over here doing all these things for him and you're getting nothing in return and he's broke, don't call him zaddy. Don't you dare open up your mouth and call him zaddy. He ain't no zaddy. That's son. That's son. I'm mama, okay? Because I'm over here feeding you, clothing you, taking care of you. No, baby, we're not doing that in 2021, okay? We're not doing that. Cut it out. You're his mother. And that's the reason why you can't respect him, because he's broke, baby. But you need to understand and distinguish between, is he acting like he's broke because he's budgeting and he has a plan and a goal for his life? Or is he acting like he broke because he really is broke? Food for thought, okay? Is he a worshiper or is he a whiner? Okay, when times get hard, when his back is up against the wall, when he doesn't know what to do, when he is stressed and depressed and overwhelmed and anxious and worried about what the future is going to hold, this is the moment when you get to see what he's really made out of. This is the moment when you get to see, is he a donkey or is he an ox? This is the moment when you get to see, is he a man or is he a mouse? This is the moment when you get to see, is he a worshiper or is he a whiner? When he has nothing else to offer, when he has all the odds stacked up against him, when he is so scared about what the future holds for him and his family and for you and for your relationship, is he quick to go down on his knees and to pray? Is he the kind of man that isn't afraid to be like, I got more questions than I got answers, and Lord, I need some clarity on this. Lord, I need some insight on this. Lord, I need some direction on this. Is he the kind of man that isn't afraid to worship? Because let me tell you something. Some of y'all are dating men that only believe the God of their grandmother. And that's why every time you talk about God, all he says is, you remind me so much of my grandmother. You remind me so much of my mom. You remind me so much of my auntie. Because their only correlation of God is the relationship that they have established with maternal figures. That's the only reason why they're doing that, okay? But he needs to know the Lord for himself. He needs to be able to worship the Lord for himself. You ought to be able to catch him in the middle of a shout. You ought to be able to catch him in the middle of a praise break. You ought to be able to catch him in the middle of lifting up his hands. You ought to be able to catch him in the middle of worshiping and singing out into the Lord. Who cares if he can't sing, baby? He is making a joyful noise. Let him make that joyful noise, all right? You ought to be able to see, are you a worshiper? Because that lets me know if you have the capacity to worship even when you're unsure, even in the midst of a storm, even in the midst of a test, even in the midst of a trial, even when you're going to the fire and you're going through the flood, you got to thank God that you're washed by the blood. Is he a worshiper or is he a whiner? Does he just whine and complain about where he is in life and what hasn't happened and what will happen and who's against him and who's not for him and who's talking about it? Is he a whiner? Does all he do is complain about how he hasn't graduated yet, complain about how he's not making enough money yet, complain about how he doesn't have the right people, the right resources, the right time, the right money, the right energy? I'm sick of it. We don't want to hear you complain. We don't want to hear you whine and complain about and nag about the things that aren't happening. If you see something ain't happening in your life, I want to see you worship. I don't want to see you complain about it. I need to see you be about it. Is he a man that is about it? Is he about that life? Is he about that life of worship? Is he about that life of serving? Is he about that life of giving and sowing his tithes? You need to see and check his record. What is he really about? Is he really a worshiper or is he a whiner? All you hear is the echo and the soundtrack of his failures and inadequacies. Is he a worshiper or is he a whiner? Because let me tell you something about worship. It's impossible to worship and to worry at the same time, because something happens when you worship. When you worship, that's where your insecurities can't have any access to you anymore. That's when your anxiety can't take control of you anymore. That's why the spirit of heaviness, then the Bible says for the spirit of heaviness, you put on the garment of praise. Or does he just have the spirit of heaviness and he just wallows in it? He just basks in his depression and never chooses to get up, to shake the dust off of his feet, and to decide that he's going to worship even in the middle while he's waiting. And he's going to worship even in the middle when he doesn't understand. You need a man that can worship. Because some of you guys, you think that you're laying up with a beautiful, priceless, valuable diamond, and in actuality, you are cuddled up with Cupid's zirconia, okay? You thinking that you're madly in love with somebody who has a heart of pure gold, but in actuality, it's fool's gold. Wake up, baby, don't be nobody's fool. Understand the difference between covenant and counterfeit things. I hope that you take this video as a measuring stick and as a litmus test and as a means to analyze your relationship through the lens of a microscope. Allow yourself to go through and finally comb through every single detail, because forever is a very long time. You need to ask yourself, is this covenant or is this a counterfeit? Okay, so I thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, remember that we do every single thing to glorify God. So remember to stay snatched and saved. Bye.